Say, Wesley, you know, uh, I got a good little tiny story that goes back to like 1963 in Phoenix, or uh, actually Glendale, Arizona. Uh, my mom raised us as devout Baptists, and uh, we had plenty of preaching going on. But back in that 1963, I wasn't even quite 3 years old, and I used to hang out in the backyard during the day. And an airport about 2 miles down the road from us uh, used to launch the Goodyear blimp. Uh, about once a month or so, the Goodyear blimp would fly over our house. And, those guys would maybe be 500 feet up in the air above the house. But there was a couple of times when the guy flying the blimp, he would kill the engines, and then they would just hang there in the air. And I guess the guy just he must have been somebody that was sort of just as funny as me. He would open up the window, the window would slide. He would slide the window open, and then he would stick his head out of the gondola and look down at me, and he would say, "Hey, do you know what time it is?" He would ask me what time it was. I couldn't tell time. And on about the second time that this guy flew over and did that, I ran back into the house, and I tell my mom, "Man up in the sky wants to know what time it is." So here's my mom thinking that uh, here we have these many Sundays where we talk about God and things that, with Jesus going to heaven, and she's got it in her head that, why is he coming in here talking about a guy up in the sky wanting to know what time it is? So on about the third time that this guy flew over her house, I finally got her to come outside, and the guy is sitting there, and he is laughing like crazy. This guy starts laughing like crazy when she comes out, and she tells him, "Well, it's about a quarter to. It was like a quarter to 11, a quarter to 1, whatever it was." And he was just laughing like crazy because this guy was only having fun with me, because every time he would stop, he wanted to talk to me and fool with me, because he would see me out in that backyard time after time, and my mom just thought I was like thinking about church when I would talk about the man up in the sky wants to know what time it is. And then about 1996, I finally got to ride in a blimp, flying out of the airport that the blimp used to come from. But we didn't fly over the area of my old house. We flew west of town. They didn't want to fly over anybody's houses then. But I just think about how my mom thought, he is so into this church and God that he wants to talk about the man in the sky. It was always kind of funny to me anyway. And my mom had a pretty dang good laugh after she finally came outside and saw the man in the sky was the guy in the blimp, floating above our house